What up, YouTube? Got another video for today, and this is finally the cut test with all the tactical axes I received in the past. Finally came into some good weather, wanted to do it outside, and I wanted to kind of test it in what I thought would probably be the fairest way to do that. So let's go ahead and get started on it. First, we have the United Cutlery M48, and I've got about a 1.5 inch piece of 2x4 with M48 written on it, so that'll be specific for this axe. We got the SOG Fasthawk, the wood also. This is a kind of like it's got a little asterisk on it because of the fact that this has already been used before. So I went ahead and did a convex edge on this, and this is I borrowed this axe from a buddy of mine. He wanted me to sharpen it, so I sharpened it, put a convex edge. So not true to its original factory form, but still definitely some good information by using this in the test there. All the other tactical axes are brand new, never cut with before, so we're going to be dealing with them on factory edges. We have the CRKT Chogan. Awesome axe. I'm looking forward to seeing how it performs, and again with its own designated 2x4. And we have the Schrade, the SAXE3, which is a monster of an axe. They're looking very curious to see how this performs also, and curious of the handle ergonomics. Now what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and cut through, or go ahead and do like 1 or 2 test swings on each piece of wood. Without gloves, so I can get an idea of how it kind of felt as far as without gloves, and then I'm going to proceed to do the rest of the testing with gloves, because after and then besides the 2x4s, I think I'm going to run across the street. I've got I got a bunch of different wood over there. I could start splitting stuff and doing stuff, but this is part 1 of the cut test. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera onto the tripod. Here we go. And hopefully you guys can see that as I cut these pieces or whatnot. I'm going to be moving it towards the camera so you can actually see what it actually did. So this will be pretty interesting. First time, or actually second time I've done a cut test similar to this, but with axes it'll be interesting, so we'll see what happens. Alright, hopefully you can see me. Let's get rid of the cases first off. Boom, we'll set these off to the side here in the shop. And we'll go ahead and move these off to the side also. Alright, here we go. Alright. Didn't lean into it too much. I don't know if you can see that. But it penetrated about a 1/2 inch, just a simple swing right into the spine of the 2x4. Right there. That was my first initial chop. I didn't go crazy and put a lot of muscle into it. Just kind of try to keep it moderate there, just to keep the testing even. I'm going to do a couple more cuts next to it, and I'll be probably proceeding in the same fashion throughout testing the rest of the axes there. So let's go back at it. Alright. So as you can see here, you've seen how many swings I took, probably like 5 or 6. I should have kept count. But I'm going dead into the top of this. I'm not coming in at an angle towards the shoulder of the 2x4 where it would penetrate even more. This 2x4 here has been sitting out, and it's been dried out quite a bit. So there you go. So that's that right there, the Schrade. The edge on the Schrade. No blemishes whatsoever. Right in my fingernail across there. No rolls whatsoever. Not too demanding of a cutting task, I imagine, for an axe, so I didn't expect it to see any heavy damage. As far as ergonomics and grip or whatever, it was alright. I didn't really feel anything. Also, it was only about not even a minute's worth of chopping, so I'll test the ergonomics when I go into chopping the other woods across the street. So that was a Schrade. CRKT Chogan Okay. That's what it did. As you can see there, it went right into a knot. I'm going to flip it around and hit this side there to make it fair, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Didn't really change the outcome too much there. Like I said, I'm hitting directly the top of the 2x4, so it's not like I'm coming in at an angle. In its defense there, it is a lot lighter than the other axes there. So we'll see what's up. Now I'm going to go ahead and run through with a few more chops there. I'll hit it right in the middle area, right there. You can see there, it's actually doing some work to it. I'm hitting dead up top. I'm not going back and forth at an angle like that. I'm actually going straight up and down. And that way, straight up and down, I'll be able to, it's a lot fair. If I go at an angle, if I start cutting, I'm not going to be 100% at the angle I come in. So if I get a better rhythm on another axe, it may be deceiving. So I'm going straight up and down, and that's probably the best way to do it there. And that's how much of what we took out of there. So that's the initial cut through there, and that's chopping edge right there. The edge on this, the same as the other. Nothing really taken away from it. No rolls or anything. Running my fingernail across there, I don't feel any rolls on either side or whatever. It did tickle a little bit over here on this back side as far as without using gloves, but I was able to get a really good strong purchase. It felt more comfortable than the Schrade axe. So there we go. Okay, SOG Fasthawk. This is the one I've already did the convex edge on it, so we'll see what's happening with that. Alright. Similar results like the Chogan so far. You'll see that. Focus. There she goes. So, similar result to that. No knots or anything like that. And we'll keep on. There we are. I'm not counting the whacks. I'm pretty sure it's about the same number. I'll probably go back in the video and find I may have shorted it one whack or added an extra one, but that's what you got there. Not too bad. They're all pretty much following along the lines of what each other. They're pretty much, it's a very well-rounded type of, I guess, testing against each other. They seem to be in you know, pretty fair so far. So that's that. The edge, of course, convex edge there. There's not a roll on this whatsoever. There's no way. And I'm going to go into something real quick after I go ahead and do the final test on the other. So that was a Fasthawk. United Cutlery M48. Just did a front flip off the table there in the dirt, so she's a little dusty. Not a big deal, but we'll be doing that now. Oh, there's a knot on this side. Okay. First initial whack. Pretty much the same. And what I'll end up doing is going back and actually measuring how deep each went here. So this video is going to be longer in 2 parts. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, but there she is right there. We're going to continue on a few more whacks. And there you are there. It actually it tore ass into it pretty good, although the cuts were more concentrated in one area, so I imagine it fares the same way as everything else there. Backside, you can see there. So, and like I said, I am marking all of them, so there's no confusion. Edge on this. Maybe a little chip over here, not much. I mean, I'm talking not much at all, just a little. Yeah, not much at all, just a little, maybe a burr, or it could be, no, I'd say just a little microscopic roll there, if anything. Not too bad though. I mean, you know, I was expecting a lot worse from the M48 anyway. So, as far as comfort goes, from doing this test here, the handle on the M48 actually felt pretty darn comfortable, even towards the end, because I've already been swinging the axes a bit, and this didn't feel bad whatsoever. It's still pretty well secured onto the handle. Don't find anything going on with that. That's the M48. The Fasthawk wasn't as comfortable. This handle needs to be a little wider, but not bad at all. This has been used and abused already, and still no kinds of wear or fatigue or any kind of tolerance issues with the handle onto the blade there. So that wasn't that bad at all either. The ergos on the United Cutlery here were better than the SOG. The Chogan, it's got a nice comfy handle. I think that its small stature, being shorter, had a lot to do with how it performed as far as cutting through there. These handles are a little wider. As far as weight goes, these guys are heavier than the Chogan, even though Chogan, it's full tang. One thing, I did feel it slipping towards the back end there, and it felt a little rough there. But you know, when you're cutting, and you're going to be using gloves anyway, so I'm thinking when I put the gloves on, we're going to have a lot of fun with that, and it's not going to be an issue. This blade is still razor effing sharp, and I think the fact that I have, you know, almost 3 inches more handle with these other two to get more force in the swing had a lot to do with why this performed how it did. The funny thing about it is it's just equal with these guys. So a couple inches extra, this handle would have surpassed these, no problem whatsoever. The finish, just a little dusty. If anything, I wipe it off, it looked like just from day one. So the finish is holding up really well on this one. Same thing with the M48 also, so I don't see anything as far as coating goes, but we just did a couple whacks with them. So, and last but not least, the Schrade didn't really feel too much of an issue. This handle's very square, not rounded at all. I figured at ergos, if anything, this would be the worst out of the bunch, but it didn't really bother me all too much. Like if I stand here and hold it, I'm like, wow, this could hurt, but it just seems when I smack it, it kind of fits pretty well. Although under continuous use, I think it will burn my hands up, but they weren't so bad for what we just did. I mean, it's awesome. It performed excellent. Although it's the heaviest out of the whole bunch, longer than the whole bunch, would be really good reason why it tore ass through the freaking 2x4 like nothing. So that would probably be the same thing. It's got a nice, even though this blade stock is really wide, I don't know, probably hard to see, go back to my initial review on it. The blade is, the grind on it is really, it's a really lean grind for an axe. Really nice, really impressed. The finish is wearing away there, where you're starting to see more of the As you can see, the finish is wearing away. It's not that nice smooth uniform like up over here. Focus, focus, there we go. You can see on the bottom the main contact area how it is wearing back. So so the finish not as good as the rest, but it's additional weight and the added length to the handle definitely causes it to perform a little bit better than all the rest of them. So not bad for the price. So next up, I'm going to probably go across the street. We'll shut this off now, go across the street and get into some, I've got some elder wood and some other stuff over there. We're going to try to start splitting some stuff with these. Alright, peace.